What's up guys, in this short tutorial I will show you the best OBS Studio streaming and recording settings for low to mid-end PCs. This should be quite an easy tutorial, everything you need will be listed in the description below. Open up OBS Studio and navigate to your settings. On this window, navigate to the Output tab and make sure to set the output mode to Advanced. This will allow you to change some additional settings. In the Streaming tab, set the encoder to NVIDIA NVENC if you have a powerful enough NVIDIA graphics card. If this is not the case, then select X264, which will utilize your CPU rather than your graphics processor. In case you're unsure about which encoder to use, then make sure to open up your Task Manager by right-clicking your taskbar and selecting it. Here in the Performance tab, you should see the workload on your GPU and CPU. Don't forget to account for any programs which are also running on your system while streaming or recording, such as graphics-intensive games or memory-eating programs such as Chrome or Adobe applications. For NVIDIA GPUs, you should make a test stream using the NVIDIA NVENC encoder to see how well it works after applying the next tweaks. If you already know in which resolution you are streaming, then you can rescale your output from here. This is also very useful for users with an abnormal native screen resolution. Right-click your desktop and select Display Settings. On this window, you should be able to preview your native display resolution. In my case, I will leave this option grayed out and resize it using other settings later on. Below, set the rate control to CBR, which stands for constant bitrate, and set your bitrate according to your internet's upload speed. I recommend testing your connection on speedtest.net. On this website, you should take a close look at your upload speed, which will determine how much bandwidth you can reserve for streaming. In my example, I could use a bitrate of 19,000, which would be more than enough to stream in 1080p and 60 fps. But using this much is not necessary. To stream in 1080p, a bitrate of 6000 should be more than enough, and for streams in 720p, you should lower the bitrate to 3000. In my case, I'm always streaming in 720p and 60 fps, and I'm using a bitrate of 3500, which is more than enough if your network connection can support it. Below, set the keyframe interval to 2 seconds, preset to Performance, Profile to Main, disable the Look Ahead options, enable Psycho Visual Tuning. These settings are, if you haven't already noticed, optimized for low to mid-end PCs. In the recording section, I suggest setting the recording path to an SSD, if you have enough storage left. Otherwise, choose a folder in your HDD storage. I like to use MP4 as the recording format, which keeps the file size low and allows you to import it to any video editing software. Again here, set the encoder to NVIDIA NVENC if you have a powerful enough NVIDIA graphics card. Otherwise, set it to X264. Set your rate control to CBR and your bitrate to around 10,000. I am using 20,000, which will inflate the file size to 20 MB per recorded second to get even more detail in my videos. This setting will not depend on your network connection, but rather on how much available storage you have left. Below, set the keyframe interval to 2 seconds, preset to Quality, Profile to Main, and Max B-frames to 2. Don't forget to apply your changes. In the Video tab, set the base resolution to your native monitor resolution. In my case, I will have to rescale my base resolution, as I'm using a very unusual native monitor resolution. The output or scaled resolution should be in 16:9 aspect ratio, which is best for streaming or recording. That's why most people stream in 1080, 936 or 720p. If you experience stuttering or network lag while streaming, then I suggest setting the output resolution to 720p before applying the next tweaks. This option will also come down to personal preference and on the type of content you wish to stream or record. If you have no clue what to choose, then make a test stream to see what works best for you and your viewers. Lastly, set the downscale filter to be cubic or bilinear when streaming, and Lanczos when recording to get a sharpened image. In the Advanced tab, set the process priority to above normal, and you should be done with tweaking your OBS Studio settings. These settings are also applicable for Streamlabs OBS if you prefer the dedicated streaming software. I hope this helped you out. Leave a comment if you have any questions and see you in the next one.